Hello everybody, welcome back to the True Start Location Carthage series. This is part 2. Welcome back, guys. Hope you guys are excited for the second episode. In this episode, we are going to be working on creating more workers for our empire, which is a fledgling empire that only straddles modern-day Tunisia and parts of Libya. So let's go ahead and continue. Last episode, we have lost one warrior to a rather graphic episode of axes up the rear posterior. I'm not going to get into that, but if you want, you can watch the previous episode to see what I'm talking about. For those of you who are new to the series, I am working on as Carthage, and this is the yet another map mod, or yet another Earth map mod that I am playing with. Which is it's pretty fun. I'm having a great time, actually. Basically, I've enabled something that's called True Start, which means that all of the civilizations in the game, like Rome, Carthage, France, Germany, so on and so forth, all start in their historical locations. In fact, Rome over here, this is modern-day Rome. And speaking of Rome, they are our nemesis. We want to destroy Rome, as historically, Carthage was destroyed by Rome. In this particular series, we will destroy Rome. We will be the destroyers. They will be the destroyed. We are the vanquishers in this episode, or rather in this series, and we are going to get around to it eventually. So, problem. We need to better work on our tactics here. They're a bit bad. Yeah. And we have a city state right next to us, actually, Valletta. If we befriend them, it might be worth it, as this will give us a military unit every so often. I think that's worth it. We're of course going to destroy this barbarian hand axe who's been following us around God knows where, all around the world, really. So, for those of you who missed the last episode, Carthage is a historical, trading empire, and we're going to emulate that in this series. We are going to spam the ever-living crap out of trading ships, rather merchant ships is what I think what they're known as in this game, and we're going to trade with as many civilizations as we can, while simultaneously working on our cultural output. I do not want to go for a domination victory, as there are 23 other civilizations that are not pictured here, and that would take a long time to capture all of the territories. So we're going to go for either a diplomatic, cultural, or science, and I'm leaning towards cultural and diplomatic. So that being said, let's go take out this encampment over here and work on exploring more of the Mediterranean. That is our goal. I'm hoping to come into contact with Austria, France, Spain, and Portugal. More people to trade with, of course, in the future, but potentially new rivals in the process. So we've taken optics, which is good. Let's go ahead and work on ironworking. This is really important, and so is actually the wheel. We haven't taken the wheel yet, and the water mill is so nice. What should we do? We don't even have archery. It's a bit sad. You know what, let's go with ironworking, just because I really want that wonder, and then afterwards we can kind of figure it out. So over here we're going into the Adriatic Sea. That is a bit smaller than I'm used to seeing. Of course, outside of Utique we have some barbarian problems, but nothing we can't handle. With the advent of our first worker, we will be able to work on the bison, unit down here to the southeast of Carthage. And we also have some iron in Carthage too, which is fantastic. Really, really good news. While we heal up our archer and meet Ragusa, fantastic. And actually, we could work the deer over here, but I want to destroy the barbarian unit first. So we're going to keep the unit here safe in Carthage while working on the Great Lighthouse. Fantastic. If we get this, this will give us our naval units +1 movement, +1 sight, and a free lighthouse. We like free buildings in Carthage, as all of our harbors and monuments are free, which is great. We like free things. Don't call us a cheap civilization, but we know when to find a good deal. That's what we're known for here in Carthage. So again, we have found Mary Teresa of Austria. Let's hope that she doesn't marry us, and then give our dynasty the Habsburg dynasty, which is just like really the Habsburgs dominated medieval Europe. They basically owned the throne of Spain. They owned the throne of Austria. They owned the throne of Hungary. They were the Holy Roman Emperor. They owned the throne of, through Spain, they owned Belgium and the Netherlands, and really just a nightmare that we'd rather avoid. So again, looks like Rome is expanding pretty fast, which is really unfortunate for us, as they are our main rival. We see Cumae, Rome, and Antium, of course, Antium in modern-day Venice, which is a bit scary, but it's not something that is totally going to really throw off our game. It's just going to make destroying Rome all the harder. And remember the last episode, as I said, that Carthage had a city in Sicily, in real life, over here in Lilybom, in the western part of Sicily. I believe Palermo, the Italian city, is really close by. Of course, you can't see my mouse cursor, but look between the two forests. That's where Palermo is, if I'm not mistaken. And god damn, look at these barbarians down here. For those of you who are also new to my channel, I like to rant a lot about history, and I'm going to rant more about it this episode. Basically, barbarian problems and rebel problems are nothing new for Carthaginian rulers such as myself. In fact, Carthage relied on a vast amount of mercenary units for their military, and this caused a vast amount of problems, as you could probably imagine. In fact, after the Second Punic War, when Carthage had, basically made an entire army out of mercenaries, they were basically stripped of lots and lots of money from Rome. I believe they were denariums was the unit that they used, or denaries, or sesterces. Shit, I'm not very good with Rome. I'm better with Carthage. But anyways, they were stripped of a lot of money, and they couldn't afford to pay back their mercenaries. The mercenaries rebelled and basically threatened to burn Carthage to the ground. And it's a funny thing. Once civilizations are threatened with their extinction, it seems like money just finds a way to the people. And in this case, the mercenaries were paid off promptly. The rebellion didn't last too long. The city, of course, didn't burn to the ground. Well, it did later on because of the Romans, but not because of the Punic and Libyan mercenaries that were hired here. So again, we're going to track down this barbarian galley and destroy it while exploring the various civilizations of the Mediterranean. And again, Utica is just a cesspit. I feel terribly bad for the people who live here, but it's like already almost at half health. It's just getting destroyed. God, that would suck to live there. So we take out the galley, which is great. We see in ancient ruins over here to the southeast of Greece. I believe the island of Mykonos, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool city, actually, in my opinion, anyways. So we're gonna take out that barbarian spearman, just like so, with some finesse, I must add. While working on the Great Lighthouse. And the Great Lighthouse is, of course, a very important wonder for us to take, as this is an early game wonder that really never is, it's always good. So we found Santorini, which just gives science. And really, okay, this is the island of Crete. This is actually not Mykonos. We need to send men over here as soon as we get the ability to disembark, or rather embark. So I'm moving my guy to Utique. The barbarian hand axe, of course, is infamous for being able to have a ranged attack of 1 square. We want to avoid that wherever possible, whilst simultaneously exploring the Mediterranean over here again. Let's go up to Constantinople and see if anybody is actually over there. As of yet, I don't believe they are, but you never know. And because we have 2 workers, we are really at an advantage compared to other civilizations. Of course, we could steal a worker from Valletta, but it's a bit hard when they're on a 1-tile island. These things are incredibly difficult, in fact, to get around to doing. So over here in the Greek naval zone, we see Sparta. Of course, we don't see the Greek capital. We will get around to seeing it here in a second. Do not worry. Do not fret. We see Germany. Where do we see Germany? Okay, we see a scout. Cool. Well, we see Germany. Maybe we get an embassy through them as well. And holy shit, take a look at all these barbarians. We want everything to do away from there. We want nothing to do with that. That is really scary. And over here, the Bosphorus, of course, connecting Asia and Europe. It looks like the Ottomans are already expanding over here in Anatolia, which is, of course, normal for the Turk. It seems like Anatolia is really just their stomping grounds in every game I've played. This, of course, includes Civilization and Europa Universalis, both games which I am fond of. So let's continue to end the turn as we work on developing our cities. and probably spitting out another colonist pretty soon. How much do they cost? I believe on Epic they cost 680 ducats. That's really expensive, and that's not something that we can afford very easily. So for the time being, we're just going to kite this hand axe around and take a look at that magnificent beard and magnificent turban. That must be Solomon the Great. It is fantastic. We are really doing quite well now. In fact, our happiness will shoot up now that we have bison. Life's good. Why aren't we getting happiness from bison? That's silly. Well, whatever. Maybe next turn we'll get it. Beats me. Or maybe bison don't give you happiness. I don't know. Like, what the hell is that about? Certainly hope they do. What a sham. Let's see. Bison. No happiness from bison? You gotta be fucking me. Well, that sucks. That really gave us nothing then, I guess. I thought that they were like foxes or furs or something, but apparently nobody cares about bison. Nobody wants the bison burgers, apparently. So let's get the hell out of here. And focus again over here in the Black Sea. And when are we going to get those foxes? In 7 turns. Let's go ahead and make a farm over here outside of Carthage while we wait. And again, we need a settler. I think the next unit that I'm going to be popping out of Utique will be a settler. Not to really just destroy Utique with units instead of buildings, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do here. Let's go ahead and get our archer back over to safety. And we need to vacate our Quen Karim. He's taking a bit of damage. We'll bombard there. Heal up our warrior. All a good day in Carthage here. All a good day's work. Hell no, Rome. We hate you. And hey, Здравствуйте, Russia. Let's go ahead and accept embassies with you. Or maybe it's Privyet. I'm a bit rusty on my Russian. Is it Здравствуйте? Any Russians who are watching this, please fill me in. I want to know how to say hello in the Russian language. So let's go ahead and see where Athens is, as this will be pretty important for us. We can even take out the archer over here that dared show his face in Carthaginian territory. A mistake that they will not make again. So we're doing pretty well now. Of course, as our pantheon, we have taken, or we've opted to take science, but it's gone pretty slowly. Even still, it's going pretty slowly. But it's not so bad. And of course, where's the city of Athens? Do I have to do some gymnastics over here to see where the city is? Jeez, it seems a bit ridiculous. But we gotta do what we gotta do, I guess. So we're gonna end the turn as we always do. Of course, Stonehenge was probably built in England, as it was historically, or at least Wales, I believe. Not to be too incorrect here. So again, we're moving our archer back as best we can. And we finally discovered Athens. Thank God, right? So we're going to be a coward and move our warrior back into Utique to heal up our unit a little bit. And let them get bombarded by our city. Take some damage. And really, we just want to escape this warrior as best we can. We're just running away. We don't even care anymore. We just want to get the hell out of there. Let's take out that Quake Kareem. It's pretty appealing, to be honest. And bombard the archer in the turn. And I do apologize. It's a bit slow in the early game, or at least it generally tends to be when I play my early game, because I play as tradition. And tradition is a pretty powerful idea group, but it's an idea group that a lot of people skip over. They think that Liberty is better now. I don't really know the full meta of this game, but all I know is that I prefer tradition. It makes the capital big, and I like big capitals as this gives us science. Of course, Caesar has made the Temple of Artemis. I guess it's kind of historical, they worshipped Artemis. Let's go southeast, tentatively. Why not? And bombard the crap out of that hand axe. Why not? So far, so good. Let's end the turn. And after ironworking, I want to work on calendar so we can actually work these cotton resources. They will give us happiness where bison failed to do so. We got another policy. Let's go for... Aristocracy would give us production when building wonders. That's pretty good. But landed elite would give us growth, which would also give us production, which I think is better in the short term. So again, we're going to bombard this barbarian unit. And this guy is going to go work on the furs. Great. So let's go to the east and potentially see Ankara, the capital of the Ottomans. And in Seek, again, we want to work on settlers. But the 40 turns, it's not very good. In fact, that's really shitty. I guess for the time being, we should probably opt instead to make a library or a granary. Let's go with the granary. Because we need people. People give science, they give production. We will take your embassy, Germany. We are happy to have German allies. Anybody against Rome at this point would be a good selection for us. So, unfortunately, the hand axe has decided to go exactly where I wanted to go in the first place. There is Ankara, which is actually not the capital of Turkey. I believe the capital of Turkey is Istanbul, but it's certainly not in the historical location of the Bosphorus. I believe this is because if I had chosen to enable Byzantium in this game, they'd be over here in Constantinople. So Istanbul's, in the middle of Anatolia, in the middle of nowhere. So that's okay. Our archer is very damaged. Let's go ahead and heal him up a little bit. We're going to keep our worker, of course, safe in the... Oh, shit. I was going to say safe in the Mediterranean, but this is anything but safe. And this is not the Mediterranean either. Let's see what happens. Of course, they took it. No surprise there, right? We're gonna kill him and take back our worker very, very soon. Good, good, good. And this guy, we really just want him to increase Carthage. The other worker will increase Utique. They'll stay on their respective spheres of influence. We will totally accept your embassy, Mr. Ottomans. Yeah, Istanbul is definitely not in a historical location. It's a bit disappointing. But now that we have ironworking, we can make the Colossus, which means that let's go ahead and focus on calendar. And we're going to take back our worker, just like so. What the hell did I just do? I have no idea what I just did. Okay, whatever. I was going to use my archer to take it and then use my worker to go back over here to take out the spearman, but I fucked up. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. Our worker over here is going to work on the deer resource. And we just got the Great Lighthouse. Yay, fantastic news. Really, really good news. In fact, we're not going to show Rome where we are because we know where they are. And we've taken the Great Lighthouse. Fantastic news. Only 11 turns for a settler? Let's take it, even though it would be 23 turns to a Colossus. I'm going to hate myself if it turns out that we could have ended up taking the Colossus instead of the settler. And we've been on production focus this entire time. That's probably not a good idea. But then again, the other capitals of the other civilizations are pretty small in comparison. Of course, Vienna is our size, but Marrakesh is also really small. So that's okay. The problem is that there is a barbarian swarm in the south of our country. We need to figure out a solution to this very terrible problem. Some might even say a final solution. But we're Carthage, so we gotta take care of these rebels. Otherwise, you gotta whack them like moles, or else they keep growing. They fornicate, they make babies, and their rebel babies decide to attack us. So we gotta stamp them out once and for all. Get rid of this problem. We're going to bombard those guys are there. And let's go ahead and work on getting furs into our empire. Just like so. So after calendar, I think I'm going to take optics. So that way we can go into Crete and take that lucrative ancient ruin. I was searching for the words. It's like, is it ancient ruin? Not exactly what I said. I completely forgot. Let's go and move the archer into Utique. We'll keep this guy outside of Utique to defend, and there's like so many units, it's insane. You guys are going to go over here to Valletta, just like so. And eventually we're going to have a pretty scary navy. Of course, we want to control the Mediterranean, so we're going to need a scary navy. But right now our navy is kind of like a token force. It's not really that special. Let's go ahead and range attack on those guys, bombard these guys. And sit you down there. Perfect. While attacking you. Perfect. Next turn. Statue of Zeus has been completed. That's okay. We don't really mind. Totally fine. Let's go ahead and use this guy to attack you. Heal you up. Ooh, you're actually inside the territory of the barbarian. Let's move you back. We'll attack you. And we're going to heal you up next turn. I really want to make another city over here. This would give us access to gold and pearls, which are both something that I really want to be able to harness in the future. So it's a very, very strategic area for us to embark upon. Closing the gap, of course, with Egypt, which will be expanding from the east. So new research is available. Masonry is really good, but so is archery. We really need archery. We really need the wheel. It's a bit pathetic that we don't have that yet. So just like that, we are doing quite well. We're going to get furs in 6 turns. And we're going to harvest some deer here in a minute. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's be friends with Germany. That sounds like a good idea. We can use them as leverage against Rome. Of course, the barbarian invasion that did destroy Rome came from modern-day Germany. The Suebi tribe, the Gothic tribes, the Vandals, Visigoths. You get the idea. All came from Germany. So we're healing up all of our units. Fantastic. Let's go and continue. And then we'll push back to take back this encampment and then settle a city over here, modern-day Libya. Fantastic. Everybody's healed up. Life's great. Let's continue. We're, of course, 2 turns away from archery, so that's pretty good. Still working on everything. Here we go. Can I bombard this unit? I can't, so let's just heal up instead. That's great. We will not accept an embassy from them because we already know where their city is. Instead, once the Quinquirium is healed up, I'm going to opt to explore the Iberian Peninsula as Carthago Novo, which was a... Well, actually, that was in North Africa. But I was going to say, we did have a colony in the Iberian Peninsula. Of course, when I'm speaking of we, I mean Carthage had a colony. So let's go ahead and do this and this. Neutralize him. Do that and that. Research. Let's see. The wheel will give us access to the watermill, which is really good. But construction. Yeah, we're going to need the wheel, so let's go ahead and do that. That will give us the ability also to create the water wheel, which is really, really good. No Rome for the last time. We are not going to make an embassy with you. You suck. Go away. You disgust me. We're going to bombard them. Shoot them. Heal up this guy. And let's see. Increase your visibility range. That's pretty good. And I don't want any barbarian galleys, so we're gonna neutralize them first before I move in on the west. And let's go ahead and work on taking out these cattle, making them production. Can definitely use some more production at this point. That's perfect. And now that we have a settler, this is great. Really, really good news. We're going to now opt for a Colossus if we can get there in time. I certainly hope we can. The question is, do we go west and take the ivory and the marble? Or do we go east? There's an argument for both sides. And we will take both sides eventually. But what's a more lucrative, you guys think? The river would give us production, and gold and pearls. This would just give us elephant and marble. You know what, we're going to go this way just for the time being. We'll, of course, change courses later on. So let's go ahead and head that way. That's fine. And what are we going to do with this unit? We'll go ahead and send him back down to Utique. That's fine. We, of course, need to destroy some of these men over here. And the barbarians just keep coming. They never stop. Never. They never think to stop. And they never do stop. So we got some more vision on the east. That's great. We're going to go ahead and make a pasture, which is fine. If we do default focus, where would that set us back at? 5.5 food. It's really the same. So, you know what? We're just going to keep it on production for the time being. That's fine. 21 turns, we will have the Colossus. That's great. We have another settler to make another city, which is also great. Go ahead and work it like that, that, and that. And we'll go ahead and put the worker in Utique. And let's go ahead and explore a little bit to the east. Then we'll take the men back. We're just going to explore over there. That's fine. Of course, by colonizing areas, it prevents barbarians from spawning, so that's pretty nice. Take out this unit right here. Fantastic. And let's go ahead and work on making some cotton plantations, shall we? We shall. So let's go back over to Carthage. This guy, of course, is going over here very slowly while we reinforce his position. We, of course, don't want him to be taken over by barbarians, so we're going to be accompanying him with a Carthaginian archer on his way over there. So let's go ahead and set up to do that. Heal up this unit as well. Send you over to Carthage. Fantastic. Good news. We now have the wheel, which is great. Really, really nice. And what should we work on now? Well, actually, let's go ahead and take out this this unit over here, which will increase our relations with Valletta, even though we'll be trespassing in their territory next turn, but that's okay. Hanging Gardens are pretty nice, but I think that they've already been taken. Let's check out our tech tree real quick. We're going to really want philosophy for the national colleges and the temples. Theology. For the time being, let's go construction. Just for now. This will allow us take Petra. Petra could be pretty useful. For the time being, we'll do that. We're doing a very balanced kind of tech tree right now, and that's fine. Balanced is, of course, good. And the turn. I hope we aren't trespassing in Valletta as we destroy a unit for them. Okay, it doesn't count. Thank God. We'll go over here to Carthage. Check it out. We can scout out Sardinia. Sardinia having one unit of ancient ruins and crabs. We are going to be making a city in Sardinia. We'll get around to it eventually. So over here, the good news is that we are getting really close to setting up a new city. The bad news is that there is a barbarian archer right outside of Boutique, which really would like to gobble up my worker. We can't allow that. That's no fun. We're going to eliminate him as best as we can. And once again, our third city is going up. Fantastic. Hippia Regius, complete with a harbor and monument. Very, very good news. We'll bombard this guy and take him out, just like so. And for Hippia Regius, what are we gonna make? Let's see. Let's start up with a watermill. It'll give us production and food, so it's even better than, say, a granary. And now that we've made a city, or rather now that Carthage has expanded, we've trapped, I believe, Rome behind our borders. Maybe we haven't, but I'd like to think that we did, just because that would be kind of funny. Of course, we are working on creating a cattle pen over here outside of Carthage. It'll increase our production, which is great. And outside of Hippia Regius, we could use some workboats. Why don't we go ahead and do that? Workboats cost 320. I think it's worth it. Just for the time being, let's avoid it just because there's so many hostile ships in the area. We'll get around to it, but just not quite yet. So again, we're healing up all our units, and then I'll be sending my Quinquereme to the west. We do not need a embassy with Greece. That would be a bit stupid. And let's go ahead and continue to... I'll send these guys back over here so they can bombard over there. The protection of the city, which is great. We like city protection. It's very, very useful. No, Rome, for the last time, we are not going to trade with you. Damn it, and Caesar's completed the Colossus. Oh! What a good reason for me to kill them. Okay, what city you got the Colossus in, you bitch? Oh, that really upsets me. Just because I opted to make a settler instead of working on the Colossus immediately, that's going to set us back. We need to really rush Petra now, as this gives us another trade node, or trade route. Where's Petra? Over here in currency. So really, we need to work on this like ASAP. We need to get that, and we need to get it quick. God, I can't believe they beat me to it. That is just so annoying. Of course, we're playing on a pretty hard difficulty, so that would probably explain why it happened, but still, it's incredibly annoying to see that happen. I guess let's go ahead and take a watermill over here in the capital of Carthage, for the time being at least. We'll work on something later. God, that really grinds my gears, rustles my jimmies, however you want to refer to this feeling. Feels bad, man. So city connection's gone up over here outside of Hippia Regius. Let's go ahead and move our archer over here to get rid of the barbarian spawning. Fantastic. Came across Portugal. She seems a bit crazy. And Utique will bombard those men over there to the east. Speaking of the men to the east, we are going to work more and more of these cotton resources here in a minute. Now there's more production for Carthage, which is nice. And let's see, I think we got about another minute or two for this episode. We've got a city connection broken outside of Hypergeus. So let's go ahead and work on that. While also destroying the barbarian archers outside of Utique. And okay, so the cattle pastures are done over here outside of Carthage. Let's go ahead and work on making the iron workable. That could be very useful. And maybe even get some roads here eventually. We don't have any roads, which is just by virtue of the fact that we don't need them because of harbors, I guess. I don't really know. We need to work on them eventually. But guys, I want to thank you very much for watching episode 2. I hope you guys are really pumped for episode 3. I certainly am. It's going to be exciting. Here we go, taking a look at Porto and Iberia. Cool, cool, cool. And thank God all of those encampments are taken out. Really makes me happy. Let's go and work on a farm outside Carthage, as there is a warrior over there. Warriors scare me. I am going to go through the gates of Hercules. Nope. And go to the west to see what lies outside of the Iberian and African region. Of course, Utique is done with their granary, which is really good news. If I get some money over there, we will take an embassy with Spain. That's totally fine. And let's see what we can do over here. Oh, geez. I don't want to go any further because those barbarian archers are really going to pelt my ship, it seems. But that could be okay. Working on more plantations. You guys are going to stay out here in Hypergeus. We need more of a military. Ask and you shall receive. Let's go with another archer. Did pretty good defending. We're going to pull our men back to Carthage. Wait for these barbarians to cross by. Let's go ahead and take a library for Utique. It's a good second building to take. Mausoleum of Polynices was taken. We don't really care. It's okay. We don't mind. In fact, we might be able to work on the Hanging Gardens if it has not been already taken. Of course, now that we have an archer, we can go ahead and defend our land, thus enabling our worker to work in peace. Great. So life's good. Again, use my Quaker Ream to kind of explore over here in Africa. Now that we have some vision. And